got a minute? Wow. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Feral. We have a very special guest with us today. He is first-generation American, Cuban American.
That's right.
He was raised by a single mom and grandmother. Went to school in Miami, studied finance.
That's right.
Got out of Miami, went to New York City to make it big in the Big Apple. Got fired.
Yep.
And then bet on himself. Went right back to South Florida. Mm-hmm. Said, "Fuck it. I'm betting on me. I'm going full beast mode, and I'm gonna make my dreams come true and never listen to anybody else ever again."
Yeah.
So
Till I met you.
Till you met me, yes. Then he met me, and he's like, maybe there's somebody I should consider the opinion of.
Yeah.
He's real. He's raw. He's relentless.
Mm-hmm.
He is Willy Numbers. Everybody welcome Will Denis to
Thank
the
you.
den.
Well, thank you. First of all, I'm humbled to be here. I'm humbled to be the first guest on the show.
He is my very first guest.
Yeah, I'm very proud that you're doing this. I think it already suits you so well, so I'm excited.
Thank you
for the kind intro.
You're very welcome. Mm-hmm. So what are you working on now? What's going on with Willy Numbers?
Willy Numbers is my personal brand, and Reverse Flip, which you can see here, is the company that I run. It was a strategy I created. So we have a school community in there. We actually have two school communities in there. There's the regular one and then a higher one. Currently in the process of building a fund to keep. The goal is $100 million worth of real estate within the next 18 months. We're already at 35 million, so I think we'll hit that goal. Just continue to disrupt the real estate business, the real estate market as a whole, and just keep crushing it with the team. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
He's doing very, very well, for those of you who don't know. I'm sure a lot of your listeners are here as well, and your fans. He has a big following. He coaches people. He's an investor. Fast forward, let's go backwards, actually.
Yeah. How far back?
We'll go back to 2017.
Yeah.
So it started with diabetic testing strips. We won't get into that part, but let's start where you're running in the street and crying in the rain, putting up bandit signs because he wanted to be an entrepreneur and become a billionaire.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit more of a rewind. 2016 was when I was doing the diabetic testing strips, because 2015 is when I got let go from Merrill. So when I moved back in with my mom at that time, just absolute zero direction. It was more so like the first thing that presents itself to me, I'm taking it, because I never wanted to work for anybody again. Lo and behold, I go to a Tony Robbins event. A buddy of mine was like, hey, let's buy and sell diabetic testing strips. That's what I'm doing. You could put out all the bandit signs, run the calls, and we'll split it 50-50. And keep in mind, I'm a college graduate. I graduated like top of my class. I busted my ass. I was just in New York City and Merrill Lynch, like suit tied. Now I'm out here putting out bandit signs, which are the little signs, for those of you that don't know, that says like call this or like handyman or whatever on the side of the road. So big humbling moment there for me. So that night we were putting out these bandit signs, and my ex-partner and I, we used to rent this little U-Haul van. And it was a lot of signs. And we used to do like 500 signs a night. So for any of you kids looking or watching right now that are like, oh, I put out like 100 bandit signs, that's shit. Like, we were doing 500 signs a piece at night, like for 4 or 5 hours. So this one night we're on US 1 in Miami. And I'll never forget it. I parked the van. He went on the north side of the street. I went on the south side. And I had like a stack of them in my hands. And it just starts like pouring torrential Miami rain. Keep in mind, I'm super broke. Like, all these dreams and aspirations, I'm getting poured on. It's like 2 a.m. because you put them out at night so the city won't take them down. And I slip and fall, and like these signs go everywhere. And I'm drenched, man. And I'm like 200 yards from the van, and I just lost my shit. I had like a little tantrum. And the funniest thing was that when I came out of the tantrum, I looked around and it was pouring so much that he couldn't hear me. Nobody knew what was going on. I was just yelling at 2 a.m. and I'm like, mother. I was like, ah. And like in that moment, I was like, damn. Like, I could go back to Merrill. I could go back somewhere and just not do this. But anyway, it was funny, and I was like, no, don't be a pussy. Like, keep it moving. Mm-hmm. good things will come, you know, is what I kept lying to myself about, but it was true. You know, you have to lie to yourself before it's true. So yeah, that was that moment. That was great.
Wild story. That's 10 years ago, 2015. It's 2025.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've come a really, really long way since being on the streets, putting up bandit signs. Now
Yeah.
you have a huge real estate portfolio. You've invested millions of dollars. You've made millions
Tens
of
of
dollars.
millions.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's no small task. Before I start asking you more questions, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
So
I love games.
he does love games. I don't know if you knew that or not about Willy Numbers, but he's
Hocus.
also a huge gun fan. He loves guns. He
I love
loves
guns.
shooting. He is a very manly man.
I am a very manly
So
man.
we're gonna
God
play a
bless America.
game called Gun to Your Head with Will. Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna ask you.
Sounds dangerous.
I'm gonna give you
I like
an
it.
option. So it's gun to your head. I'll say this or that. You have to choose one, and it's fast paced, rapid fire.
Okay.
So
Hit it.
I'm just gonna hit it with you, and then you're gonna choose.
So I choose one or the other.
Correct.
Got
gun
it.
to your head. Got it.
Got
All right,
it.
let's go. Build a $1 billion empire or disappear into the woods with a rifle.
Build $1 billion empire.
Wall Street bonus or own your name on the deed.
Own your name on the deed.
Pain or comfort.
Pain.
100-mile run in the snow or in the desert.
Desert.
Fight or flight.
Fight.
Sex or solitude.
Sex.
Money or legacy.
Both.
Ooh. Caged animal or lone wolf.
Lone wolf.
What's one thing you'd never admit except for on this podcast?
Sometimes I want something so bad and I can believe it, and I actually believe it so much that I cry in myself. It gets me emotional
That's amazing.
in a good way.
That's because it's real.
Yeah.
It's true. That's
Sure.
why the emotion comes up.
Yeah. Whoever tells you that, like any entrepreneur that tells you like they've never wanted something so bad that they haven't gotten like teary-eyed is a liar. Man
Oh, yeah.
or woman.
Because that's your dreams, like having a conversation with you inside. Your
1000%.
dreams are communicating with you. But if you don't get emotional over that, then your dreams aren't big enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to cry
Yeah.
about it sometimes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think
It's
that's
good.
really important to admit as a man too, because so many men can't admit that they cry, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something it's empowering. It's
Yeah.
being able to own your power and say, hey, like the shit makes me so emotional that I weep
Yeah.
because it's that important to you.
Dude, I've had so much pain in business that, I mean, it is literally enough to make you cry. It's so painful sometimes. But it happens, you know. I always say just have your little pity for a man, you know. Have your little pity party in the corner, whatever. I mean, I've cried in front of you, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
And then just get your shit together and move on.
When you got fired from Wall Street, because that was your dream. You were going to make it on Wall Street. You were going to be a big hedge fund guy, billionaire. That was your dream. That was your goal is finance.
Was
You
it.
studied, you got your degree, and you're like, this is it. I'm going. Your
Yeah.
mom supported you.
Yep.
And then, boom, the day that you got fired, what made you, instead of just going anywhere else on Wall Street, you could have picked any other job and gotten a position and started from, you were already at the bottom, so it wouldn't have been that hard to start at the bottom with another company. But instead, you said, fuck Wall Street, I'm going back to South Florida and I'm never working for anyone again. Never another 9 to 5. Why?
To be fair, I want to give the viewers some context of how like that works. I had an internship, and I cold called my way in that internship into that department of Merrill Lynch on Wall Street. So I was never hired to go straight to New York because I didn't go to an Ivy League school. 99% of the times, those things are reserved for the Ivy Leaguers.
Correct.
I cold called my entire summer internship desk to desk while at Merrill, but in a different department, but talking to these guys.
Working at
And-
a bank, right?
yeah, I was at U.S. Trust over here, which is like the trust department. It's also owned by Bank of America, so is Merrill Lynch. But anyway, so I built relationships up and rapport, and I kept calling this one guy in AI, which is called alternative investments, not AI like today. And alternative investments is like oil, right, timber, and all that stuff. And this guy got so annoyed by me, and he's like, dude, like, I don't even hire. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand. Like, I will call you every day. Like, it is my dream to be on Wall Street. But you just give me a shot. I'm already here. You can ask my bosses. I work long hours, you know. Like, I've always been this way, you know. And the guy gave me a shot, and I went up to New York, and I got hired. Like, it was a very weird hire. So I got there. It was all Ivy Leaguers. I was there for about a year and some change. And then my mind, I'm younger. I'm like 23, 24 at the time. I saw Wall Street as like, dude, this is the place where people come to get rich. Like, I'm a shark. I love going head to head. Like, this is it. And it was, you know, it was 100-hour work weeks, like sleeping at my desk. It was awesome, but I enjoyed it. And my boss, I don't think he really liked that. He was kind of cushy at that time. He was in his like early 40s. He was probably making $500,000 a year, which is peanuts in Wall Street, but for him it was a lot. And then he fired me. So I think just my entire dream and my identity was tied up at that time, like on Wall Street. I mean, I was the guy that like watched the Michael Douglas film, you know, the original
Gordon
Wall
Gekko.
Street with Charlie Sheen. Gordon
Yes.
Gekko was like on my wall.
We still have that. Actually, we should bring it out. When I have you back on the show, we'll bring it out to show the people.
Yeah, like the gecko. You know, like that was it. And, you know, obviously it changed since the 80s. But when I got fired, I feel like everything was stripped from me by that one person. And I don't know if it was conscious or subconscious, but in that moment I was like, damn, like I never want to be in a position where one person has so much control over my life and my trajectory. Because I had busted my ass. Like, if you drove by Vesey Street, which is where the building was, my light was always on. Like, Saturday, I had a boss there, not him. His quote to say to everybody, especially the new guys, was, don't bother showing up on Sunday if you're late on Saturday. Like, that's the mentality that these guys carried. So I was like, yo, this is my shit. Because that's, you know, till this day, that's still who I am. So, yeah, it just pissed me off. And it cut deep to the core. And I remember I called my mom, and I was crying, obviously. Because I was like, oh, what do I do? I'm moving back from Manhattan now, she was going through a divorce at the time. And she was like, well, you know, I mean, you always figure it out. That's what she told me. And I told her, I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm never fucking working for anybody again. I was like, that's it. Like, I'm going out on my own. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but, like, I'm going to make it.
What was her response to that? As a mother of a 23-year-old boy that just spent 4 years in college to get his finance degree and make
it's
it
hard
to
not to get emotional about it because, you know, she genuinely, her exact response was like, go do it, you know? She always supported me that way, and, you know, being a single mom and everything. And it was exactly what a kid would need to hear, you know? She had everything in her right to be like, no, you know, like, be a dream killer, like typical parents, right? Because they just want safety for their kid, and she didn't. So I appreciate her till this day, and if you're watching, I really do appreciate her because she could have said a lot of things, but she didn't. So, God damn it. Fucking cry on the show now.
No, it's good. This is the point. It's about who you are, not what you are. So you mentioned control. And I feel like a lot of men who, whether they are powerful or they just want to be powerful, control is a huge part of that. Sometimes for good reason and sometimes for not good reason. So what are some beliefs that you hold being in your masculine energy? Because masculinity is obviously a huge part of being a business owner and an entrepreneur and betting on yourself like you have. What would you say are some of those traits that most men don't talk about that you pride yourself on, or something that you deal with in your masculinity every single day?
The pressure. The pressure is, it's something that not a lot of guys really talk about. A lot of guys pretend, and I'll just be like 100% blunt here. A lot of guys pretend like they have a lot of pressure. They don't know what real pressure is. You know, to certain levels, there really is levels to pressure, but, you know, it's responsibility, pressure. I coach a lot of younger guys typically, as you know. And I love to see the young guys, you know, younger than me. I'm 34, they're like 22, 23, right? Like, that's young, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I remember me, and I'm like, God, you got a whole decade of learning and bashing your head up against the wall.
Just a baby.
Yeah, but yeah, the pressure and the responsibility. A lot of guys want, and I'm speaking to guys and women too, but like guys want the cool shit and the title of like, ooh, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a business owner and nobody tells me what to do and all that kind of shit.
Women want it too, by the way. It's not just guys that do that. Girls, we do it too.
Sure, but, and it's a huge but. that comes with an enormous amount of responsibility, an enormous amount of sacrifice, and sacrifice is like huge. And there's people that rely on you. So it's all fun and games until shit becomes real and you can't make payroll and you're like, oh my God, there's like 10 people that feed their families from my efforts. And I got to figure this shit out. So that's real pressure. Pressure on the outside, pressure of being online because we live in an online world, right? Having 300 something people that came into the community that now take guidance and mentorship from me, that literally are making all their decisions based upon what I'm saying. So I'm just grateful that I actually know what I'm doing, but I make mistakes. I'm a human being. So there's a lot of pressure around it. And again, you have to level yourself up to deal with that pressure. And I feel like for a long time, I didn't really deal with the pressure. I dealt with the pressure by partying and drinking and this and that was a part of it. But I haven't drank in over 2 years. So, that's when like you really feel shit. You're like, oh my God, this is crazy. But, yeah, the pressure is definitely the only thing I would say.
Yeah. Let's talk. You mentioned that you stopped drinking. Yeah. Let's touch on that. What was your relationship with alcohol, and what led you to make the decision to remove that relationship from your life?
So again, just like anybody else, right? Partying, just South Florida, typical stuff. I became, I guess you would say, financially free, rich, whatever, at 30. So for the first time, So you're 30 years old, 31, whatever. You're living in South Florida. You busted your ass, right? It's 5 years of hard work and eating shit. So now you want to just like kind of enjoy it, and all your friends are doing the same. So naturally, you go get into some trouble. Because why not?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but the relationship turned into like, hey, this isn't fun anymore, and I kind of started to notice, and it was like starting to become a crutch. And at that time, I was going through a business divorce that was really nasty.
Several.
Yeah, 2. Why not 2 when you have 1? And typical me. But
same thing with the drink. Let's have 1, have 2.
Well, I might as well have 10. But so it became a crutch, and I didn't like that. I had a lot of help from a lot of people, including you, which was awesome to support that. I didn't go to AA or anything like that, like as a formal program, but I just knew, me, when I commit, and I was just like, that's it, dude. I woke up hungover one day, and I was like, man, this is you're supposed to be the guy, and you're just like a guy now. Like, you're letting something else control you. Like, that's pretty shitty, So that was it. I just cut it out, and I knew subconsciously, like, dude, if you want to take it to the next level, like, you've gotten to certain levels. But this is not going to happen unless you get your personal shit together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then going through that process, it allowed you to process a lot of information, feelings, your past, how you got to where you are, the love-hate relationship you probably had with yourself during that period of time.
Yeah. Trauma.
It opened a lot of doors and closed some too.
Yeah, it did. It forces you, all that stuff kind of, when you've been partying, or if you smoke weed or whatever, and I got no judgment against anybody, knock yourself out. But, you are numbing things that are supposed to not be numb in order for you to process them. So for me, it was everything. The first 6 months were just I remember I found myself crying sometimes where I would get really emotional about something. I was like, what the is going on? I felt like a pregnant woman. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. My hormones are everywhere. Why is this happening? But through therapy and a lot of leadership coaches and stuff like that, I was just like, man, yeah, this is the shit that you didn't deal with for a long time. Drinking had become such a thing for you, and it's normal in society. Happy hour, and you do this, you do that, and you miss a workout here, you miss that there, you're tired and brain fog. No, it's cool, man. Oh, you're young, you're supposed to have fun. Yeah, you are, but doesn't mean you have to drink that much, or smoke or do drugs and shit like that. So it was for me, the way I saw it, the way my brain works, I saw it in my brain, and I said, here's all the things I want to accomplish. How does alcohol fit into this equation? And the resounding answer was, it doesn't, so you need to make this more of a priority. When your goals become more of a priority than that other thing, and it could be alcohol, or it could be whatever, or that toxic relationship, whatever the fuck it is, all of a sudden, it all changes, and it's so much easier to make that decision. Mm-hmm. But people as a whole, and I've been guilty of this too, they choose other things as a priority, so they will always tell you why they haven't done something, as if it's like a story that you're supposed to buy. I'm not a buyer, for that kind of shit. You're just telling yourself the truth, just a lie. Guys ask me all the time, oh, how do you get up at 4:30 in the morning? I'm like, well, because it's a priority for me to go to sleep early. It's a priority for me not to drink. So I get up at 4:30, dude. I get the same amount of sleep as you do. I just don't feel like shit. That way, when I get to the next day, I'm good. And I can stay consistent, so I can weather any storm in my mind, because no matter what happens, and shit will hit the fan in entrepreneurship, that's a guarantee. Yeah. No matter what level you're on. Like, to get from 0 to 1 million, that's a shit show. And to get from 1 to 3, other shit show. To get from 3+, shit show. But it requires new versions of you. So if you train yourself, physical, mental, right, all that kind of spiritual, emotional, you can weather any storm. But when you have a shaky foundation and you're not like on point with shit and you're using things to numb yourself, you're going to have a rough time. I just know from personal experience.
Yeah. You have a pretty strong mental head game that you play with yourself. You are definitely discipline over motivation every day of the week, I would say.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. Actually, you are currently training for a 100-mile race right now.
In one sitting.
In one sitting, this man will be running 100 fucking miles. So
December.
What is that? Is the 100-mile race keeping you sharp in business, or is it vice versa? Did your business make you want to challenge yourself and run 100 miles and just tack on pressure, something more, something? You're very intense, so show us a little bit into your mental head game that you play with yourself.
That's a really good question. For me, it's pretty simple. The last 9 years, since I decided to go out on my own, seems like it was yesterday, but I'm coming up on a decade, right? I'm very blessed to say that, because a lot of guys don't make it that far in entrepreneurship and business. The average business, I think, closes like within 2 years or something. 97% of them. I wanted something. I wanted it for 2 reasons. Number one, we had gone through so much growth through the whole reverse flip thing, and just overall, that I found myself in this new level of pressure. and firsthand, when we were in Hawaii, that was probably one of the first times that it was like, holy shit. Like this, I had been pressured before, but that was like new pressure. So nowadays, when I feel that kind of pressure, the first reason that I'm doing it is, I need to add something extremely hard on the personal side to be able to, number one, stay occupied, but number two, really like build the mental callus to deal with whatever's going to come. And number two was, selfishly, I just wanted to taste my fucking metal. I just wanted to test my metal. That's what it was. I said, dude, I'm a badass in my mind. I've been through so much shit over the last 8 years. Well, let's condense it down to one sitting. And the hardest thing I could think of outside of going and joining the military or something would be, boom, a 100-mile race within a 31-hour time cap. So I've had friends that have done it. I've had friends that have tried and haven't done it, and then they tried again and they got it. So, again, for me, it's just an accolade for me. But it's just for me. I could care less, whatever it means to anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So I think running a 100-mile race is probably going to put you through a lot of pain. It's going to be very uncomfortable at points. You're training even, on the weekends, you're already at the point where you're running 20 miles on a Sunday. Yep. So coming back from that, Sunday, there you go, 19 this weekend, coming in hot. So you're good at putting yourself through pain. I think he likes it. If I'm honest, I think this man he wants more of it.
We want some more.
So what is your relationship with pain, I guess, is my question. Some people chase pain, some people avoid it, some people own it and respect it. You might be one of all of those things. Well, actually, he doesn't avoid his pain at all. But what is your relationship with pain?
Look, it's not in a masochist sense of like pain to chase it. I'm like a bison. The bison just goes through the storm. That buffalo. Yeah. He just goes right through the storm. It's the only animal that we know that does it.
Right.
Because he knows if I go through the storm, it'll last less than running away and then getting schwacked by the storm again. Pain for me, I can care less about the pain. I am the type of person, and if it helps anybody out there, attach yourself to the outcome. I don't give a shit what happens in the middle. That's the trick. Yes, it's easier said than done. I don't care what happens in the middle. I don't care about the process. I don't care about, like, I'll do that. I'll do the mundane. I'll do the consistency. I'll do all that shit. And I've proven that over 8 years. So for me to train for a 100-mile race, like, it's funny because even I thought so, right? Like, oh, yeah, I guess you just show up and whatever, you do a little bit of training. Dude, I'm training for 6-7 months. You know, I'm enduring ridiculous amounts of pain and discomfort for 6-7 months. Like, so I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, but I want the outcome. I want to be at that finish line, and I want my friends and family to say, holy shit. Like, this guy just broke a barrier that I thought was impossible. So maybe it'll change something for them. But to myself, too, you know, anything I've ever said, hey, I want to go out and do has been extremely painful. So I just attach myself to the outcome. I don't care about the pain.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you're not doing this for anybody else but yourself. But
No.
indirectly, you're inspiring other young men. You're following your students, your mentees, all of these people to put themselves in uncomfortable situations and challenge themselves to do things they don't believe that they could. I don't think you're not going to finish the 100-mile race because I know you well enough to know that that's not going to happen.
No.
Even if he ran out of time, he would still run the 100 miles. That's just what kind of person is sitting in the chair next to me right now.
Yeah.
So just for some context here, but even if you have friends who have tried to run 100 miles and didn't make it.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation, but both of the people that I know went back out and within 2 weeks, a month, signed up for another 100-mile race and said, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I just had a good friend of mine, Brady, that you know. He's ran multiple 100-mile races. He actually finished an Ultraman, which is 3 Ironmans back-to-back. He's like one of 800 people in the world that's done that.
Insane.
Brady, if you're listening, you're a fucking legend.
Yes, Brady McDonald, shout out to you. You are a champion.
Greatest thing to come out of Canada.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so anyway, but recently, and you know, he posted it publicly. He was supposed to run this 100-mile or a little bit over 100-mile race, and he DNF'd, which means just, you know, did not finish at 82 miles, I think it was, because his lungs filled up with fluid and, you know, safety reasons, which I get. 3 weeks later, he ran and finished a 125-mile race through Sedona.
Wow.
So he added an extra 25 to show his daughters that you don't quit at anything and then you just got to make it harder.
Yeah.
So his daughters are always at his race. I respect the shit out of that because the dude not only put up another 100-miler, which sucks, but then he put up an extra 25. So he just ran an extra marathon through a mountain for kicks. That dude is a hard motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
like there's nothing that's going to come at him in business where he's going to be like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, he'll be sitting at his desk saying, I could be running 100 miles right now, but
That's what I say during the week. I'm
yeah.
like, I could be running 20 miles right now. This sucks.
Yeah. So I guess it's the kind of people you surround yourself with is pretty important to have friends like that push you to your next level and inspire you to do bigger shit than you ever thought you would do is extremely important.
If you're an eagle, don't hang out with pigeons.
Boom.
Okay?
Mic drop. Say that again.
If you're an eagle, do not hang out with pigeons. All right? Some of you are going to take that the wrong way because you're just in your feelings. That's fine. You're not my audience anyway. But the reality is, you will never see an eagle chilling on a corner, pecking crumbs off the floor. And if an eagle sees another eagle flying, it must be another eagle because they fly higher than most birds. And other birds can't have oxygen up there. So I think that's a metaphor to life. I am an eagle through and through. And the only people around me that I like to surround myself with are eagles. I can care less about anything else.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And pigeons are great. You know, they have their time and place. They're cool. If you're in Central Park, you throw them food and
there you go.
Stuff like that. It's nothing against anybody. I used to be a pigeon. I just graduated.
Yeah, you got to graduate up.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You got to become a hawk, and then a hawk becomes an eagle, and
yeah, whatever the hierarchy is of the birdage, whatever that is. You know, I don't know what the ranking system is on that. I don't know if that's a word. But I don't know what the ranks are on that. But it's pretty high up there.
We can look into it, Antonio. We're gonna have you. He's gonna look this up for
everybody.
Fucking
drop an eagle right here, just right here. It's good. I don't know. Just don't be a turkey, pigeon. You know, one of those things. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. So
there's your reel.
Hey, there's your real.
There's your real. Bam!
We witnessed you get a little bit emotional at the beginning of the show, which is amazing that you have the capability of being vulnerable and opening up. So I really appreciate it, and I know that our viewers do as well. When is the last time that you really, really broke down over something? What did you break down about, and how did you process that emotion? Like, what did you do with it that applied to business or just moving in the right direction, even though you were at a breaking point?
Oh, man. I mean, there's been a few times in the last, year, but probably 2 or 3 times. Yeah, just, I remember one time specifically, I broke down. I mean, does it matter what you broke down for?
No, you don't have
to. It was
to.
in a positive way. You were actually there. It was like when Reverse Flip had really, whoa, it took off, and, Brad Lee made a post about it, and now I found myself, and it has nothing to do with Brad Lee. Although I love Brad Lee, I think he's great, but, that level of status of that guy, for him to, and he just nonchalantly brought it up in one of his videos, and I was now texting with him about doing an event together. That was like a breakdown in a positive way emotionally, because I just felt overjoyed. And again, it's not about him. It was just more so damn, dude, I've eaten a lot of shit over 8 years, and specifically the 2 years before that through the whole divorce thing with my ex-partner. So that was a validation for me. And that was a big moment. And I was like, damn. It took... That's why when I see somebody get somewhere, big, I respect the shit out of that person. Unless it was inherited. But most of the times it's not.
Yeah.
But I respect the shit out of that person, because I'm like, I know what it feels like to be an 8-year overnight success.
Yes.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
A decade later, yes, I'm an overnight success.
Well, and that notoriety is priceless for someone who's in a seat that you will eventually get to and you will surpass, I'm sure.
Sure.
For any kind of notoriety when you're at the lower stages of your life is extremely inspirational, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
And it's holy shit, somebody just mentioned me on their show, on their podcast, in their reel, who has X amount of following and is this successful in their business, and this is what they're doing, and they're talking about me. Holy shit. That's literally like Alex Cooper being like, Savana Montana is my next guest on the show. I would shit my pants. That's crazy.
It'll happen, and again, I speak alongside Pace Morby in September at my friend Andrea's event.
That's right.
That's an event that I'm going to be speaking in front of 3,000 people, give or take, in Spanish. Pace is a good friend of mine, and he's at a certain level. So now to see an ad, run with him and then me, and I'm like, holy shit, it's the big leagues. So
it's the big leagues.
I feel pretty cool about that.
And you've known him for a while.
Yeah, I met Pace when he was still a contractor.
Yeah, before Pace Morby was Pace Morby.
Yeah, he had 15,000 followers or something. It was a lot. He's got 600,000 today, so it's a big difference. 8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Almost.
You are obsessed with guns, fitness, freedom. You love America more than most Americans, I would say.
Yeah.
What is that obsession for you? That freedom, control, power, limitless possibilities. You're obsessed. Why?
Obsessed with America, or obsessed with the whole gun
with
thing?
Freedom, I think all of it is it ties together. But
what is the same cool shit.
What is it's all the same cool shit.
Yeah, it's all the same cool shit.
Yeah. So, but you, if you live with any regrets, the only regret I've ever heard you speak about is that you didn't go into the military to be special forces or to be a Navy SEAL. That's your only standing regret. To try
for the record. Yeah.
So he does it in his own way now.
Yeah.
He punishes himself mentally.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of my friends are, Cody and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I resonate really well with those guys. The mentality, can't compare it with anything else. But so what's the obsession with freedom?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the greatest fucking country in the world. It's just
Amen,
that
baby.
simple.
Amen.
There's your second reel. It's the greatest fucking country in the world. A group of fucking men threw a bunch of tea over a boat and fucking said, fuck England, and built this shit. It's sad to see that sometimes it's not what it used to be, but it still is. It's very, very good. For me, it definitely comes from the fact that, like, literally one generation ago, my mother, whom you know very well, was born on a farm in Cuba and rode a horse to fucking high school.
She did.
I am one generation later, and I am a multimillionaire in America. I don't know any other countries that can just happen. Now, of course, I've had to bust my ass to get there, but to change the lineage and family tree, I mean, this country's amazing, but freedom is just, I'm Cuban. I come from a family that got everything stripped from them with Castro. So, communism fucking sucks. So, yeah, just America, freedom. That's what it's all about. What the fuck is the point of all of this anyway? Mm-hmm. I don't like when anybody tells me what to do. I'm a good citizen, but I don't like when anybody tells me what to do. I love guns. I love loud shit. I love fast shit. And this country just gives you the option to, hey, the beautiful thing about this country and tying it into freedom is if you want to suck, you can suck here. The catch is, don't judge somebody else for not wanting to suck. Mm-hmm. If you want to go and take it all the way, and I mean all the way, you can. And you are guaranteed a successful slot here if you stick with it long enough. Again, I don't know any other countries in the world where it's set up that way.
Yeah.
It is very, I don't want to say easy, but it is not as hard as you think to become rich in this country.
No.
It's really not.
Idiots do it all the time.
Immigrants come here all the time of all like all different countries, from Asia to India to South America to everything. And within 4 or 5 years, it's not uncommon that the person's a millionaire. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not because of anything else other than, dude, I've never had this opportunity. I'm so grateful. Like, they don't complain about shit. They just go.
Right.
And they're willing to do anything.
Absolutely. And I'm a little bit on judgment you kind of touched on there. For people who suck have a lot to say about people who are doing something with their life, and I think it's super shitty. I'm not a big fan of judgment anyways, but a person that's doing better than you
will never shit on you.
Will never judge you for it because they've already been where you are, right? So for somebody who has faced a lot of adversity in their life and dealt with a lot of judgment and had people come at them quite literally, figuratively, physically, lawfully, in all the ways,
no.
You have faced those things. So what is your opinion of that kind of judgment? What do you have to say to the people who have shit to say about you that actually don't know who you are at all? And you can be unapologetic about it.
Oh, I will be. I hit back harder. So I just hit back fucking harder. You should be very careful and very weary of a person who's earned everything that they have. And if you want to come after somebody for that, that's fine, because you're a loser or whatever the hell's wrong with you. That's cool. Just don't be shocked when you get fucking brought down to a nub. That's if you, again, I'm not a confrontational guy, like out there looking for, whatever. Mm-hmm. You do have to protect yourself and defend yourself. Funny enough, it's kind of sad, but it's not really to me anymore. The higher up you climb, the success ladder of any sort, but it usually has to do with monetary. Man, the more dipshit. For every good man like me, there's probably 10,000 dipshits that want to tear him down. Mm-hmm. Just because they couldn't do it. And they're just, eating sandwiches.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you spent that much time on hating someone else and transferred that into loving yourself and focusing on the shit that you want to do and your dreams and goals, you might actually get somewhere. The fact that people will focus on another person to bring them down, you're literally spending your energy and emphasis on someone else's time in their life. And you're literally wasting your own. I think it's absolutely asinine to ever do that, and it gets you absolutely nowhere. But you're just, when you put out so much negative energy onto someone else, you're just attracting it into your life. Usually when you meet people like that, they're not super fucking cool to hang out with.
Yeah, I had an instance last night. It happened to me on a call with somebody that I've known from way back in the day, 7 years in business. And, it kind of got a little, let's just say, dicey there. But some of his comments were, I was laughing on the phone, and I've matured a lot. Before I would have probably, gone at him and brought down myself to his level, which I haven't been at that level in a long time because I've earned it. Mm-hmm. But I just told him, I was like, dude, I actually don't. You're not listening to me. I was like, this call's over, dude. I don't even know why I gave you the time of day. I'm like, I haven't been you in a long time. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I just don't have to deal with you. Like, you're a peasant. You're literally like a fly on my windshield.
Yeah.
Like,
why did
and
I
you're
even
the
pick up
problem.
the phone?
And you're the problem. And I tried being, again, I hate to say it, but sometimes no good deed goes unpunished. And I'm like, I was the guy that tried going above and beyond to fix the situation. And of course, I end up getting friendly fire. And I'm like, well, I'm pissed now. So, but anyway, I just closed the chapter, and it's good for me because it gives you perspective of how far you've come. You know, yeah, it's hard at first, you know, when you've elevated outside of like a certain friend group or a social group or whatever, even in business, right? Yeah, a lot of people look at you and you're like, well, why don't, you know, I think it's a natural human need to be like, well, why don't people like me? Why doesn't everybody like me? At least on a subconscious level. But then you find out that there's just a lot of dipshits in the world. They're not always going to like you. So for me, it's just like, dude, I just kill them with success. That's the best thing I can tell anybody. Wow, the success does the largest talking. You know, yeah, I'm loud. And yes, I will tell you, you know, I'm more of a Conor McGregor. I will give you the best press conference, but I will beat your ass in the octagon too. Mm-hmm. You know, in the octagon of business. That's my mentality. That's how I perform. I love to collaborate. Like, I love to collaborate. I collaborate with a lot of people. But, you know, you every now and then you do get a, you know.
You get a Spartan that wants to come play with
you. You get a little weekend warrior that wants to, I'm going to go run a 5K. Dude, you smoke them. You just run them over and you're just like, I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
But that's part of life. That's a part of business.
He's feral, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, dude. I'm like a warrior in a garden, like Cody Alford always tells me. I really am. I like to, like, honestly, I'm like, oh man, I'm tending to my garden, but, you know, a rabbit comes in and starts eating my tomatoes. I just gone.
Bye-bye.
I don't know if that's gonna make any sense to anybody, but. Yeah, that's it. That's the best way I could put it.
So, on the outside, the exterior, you're very intense. You're a hard man. You're very go, go, go all the time. But you do have a soft side.
I do.
And you do have a huge heart. So, I want to shed some light on the kindness that you have for people.
Boy.
So, you are in a relationship. You're not a single man. If you could describe yourself in a relationship, do you love intensely? Do you love distantly? Who are you in a relationship? If you could describe yourself, who do you think you are?
Well, I mean, definitely intensely, not distantly. I'm the type of person that's always going to provide for that other person. Just who I am. I would like to be an example for my significant other. You know, and again, this is going back to my philosophy on like what a man should be, that kind of stuff. And the world is a really jacked up place right now. I don't know what the hell's going on with men, but I blame women partly. But like the reality is,
it's our
like men need to get their shit together. Like as a whole, we're not looking good as a fucking gender right now. But yeah, I mean, just, you know, men are supposed to endure hard shit. That is not to say that women don't endure hard shit. I never want to be pregnant. I respect the shit out of women. Like, that's some hard shit, right? Being a mother, a good mother, that's some hard shit.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, but I want to be an example, you know. Always lead from the front, you know. Don't say anything. You do it and you show it. And that's the best way, I think. I think that gets picked up by the other person, or it doesn't. You know, in some people's relationships, it's just kind of, that's why people go distant and they go on opposite directions, you know. And there's no right or wrong, but that's what I feel. I always want to encourage that other person. My energy is always very high, even when I get kicked in the nuts. So I would say, weirdly, especially when I get kicked in the nuts, like I kick into that next gear. But yeah, that's what I want to show my partner. I always want to show her, you know, hey, this is what you do with adversity. You know, you crumble that shit up and you throw it at somebody.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Well, and you were raised by a single mom and grandmother, and your father passed away in your teens when you were 15 from pancreatic cancer, correct? So
that's what they say.
That's what they say. Your relationship with your dad wasn't the greatest.
No.
But he did leave some sort of imprint on you because he was a very hard individual, and he put your mom through a lot. You saw glimpses of that growing up, but you essentially grew up without your father, and then you taught your mom real estate. You went through the divorce with her in your early 20s. You supported her for a period of time and got her back on her feet. That's a very manly thing to do. That comes with a lot of pressure. That comes with a lot of love. That comes from a lot of compassion. So from the parents that you were blessed with, the ones that you chose, if you will,
Sure.
how did that mold you into the man that you are today by having those two very different relationships with parents?
I mean, yeah, the whole situation with my dad, I did know him. He passed when I was just around 15 or so, give or take. And Thanksgiving, nonetheless. What an asshole. But anyway, I mean, typical. But yeah, I mean, he just was, I witnessed abuse as a kid, verbal, physical, whatever. He was a very aggressive, violent guy. At the same token, could flip a switch and be one of the most benevolent, funny, down-to-earth, big-hearted guys. I don't know where the hell that goes, but, because I witnessed it, and, even my mom and grandma, will tell you. On the others, and I made my peace with that. I knew very early on, not going to be this guy, I never wanted to be that guy. For a while when I was younger, I was certainly chasing a ghost in the sense of like, well, I'm going to show him, there's nothing worse than like if a parent is alive and I tell, a lot of people who have parents that an estranged parent or whatever, I'm like, dude, at least you have that person there that for better or for worse, you can talk to them, or you can yell at them for whatever you want to do, but it's there, It's hard to make a long distance call and call this guy and be like, fuck you,
Yeah.
Or like, did you see what I did? Because there's always like that instinct of like the abandonment, right? Mm-hmm. So I've done a pretty good job, I feel like, at dealing with that. And then eventually I was just like, dude, it doesn't even matter. You're doing this for you, right? You get, the beautiful thing about life is that I will get another chance with my own kids, hopefully someday, and I can rewrite that and be like, all right, let's not do that guy. So if he taught me anything, it was how to not be. So that's probably the best imprint he left.
That's a lesson in itself. It's a good one to have.
Yeah, it's a huge lesson, and he also, if he was here right now, I would say I really appreciate the adversity that you gave me. I don't think I'd be the man for sure that I am today, and I can go through all the hard shit that I've been through if it wasn't for the shitty ass position that you put me in.
Wow.
So
that's very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, that sums it up right there, As far as on the other side, which is the complete other side of the coin, is the saints that are my mom and my grandmother.
All the love.
Yeah.
They've got all the love.
These women, always supported me. My brother as well. I have an older brother. Which my older brother, he did a phenomenal job because we're 9.5 years apart. He went to the military, went to Iraq, set a great example. Was always a good man, is always a good man, still to this day. Great father, great husband, all that stuff. And, he gave me a lot of that guidance. He molded me. He was in the military, so I would visit him. So I got a lot of that hard shit. Like I would spend the whole summer on base, which wasn't allowed to be done, but I would, he did it anyway. But yeah, like for him to have taken the time when he was 20 and I was 10, a whole summer with a 10-year-old brother, like that's fucking brutal. But he did. So, and of course my mom and grandma, they never babied me, They typical Cuban mom and grandmother, yes, they spoil the shit out of usually the youngest, right? Especially the boy with the food and the clean clothes and
just
the thing and the cleaning.
The things and the cleaning.
Yeah, and the fabuloso and all that, but yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't love it. I still love it. But they did, my mother did a few things. My mother never babied me. She wasn't like against me crying, but she was, and I remember distinctly in my childhood, just, hey, men don't cry about stuff like this, okay? Like you get your shit together and you move on, My grandmother literally put me in the side of the house one day with a neighborhood bully and we beat the shit out of each other. And she like locked the gate and she was cool with that. It's definitely over the statute of limitations. I think I was like 13 or 12. But
yeah.
I was maybe younger. But anyway, like they just showed me, how to not be babied. Because they knew, like, okay, he has 2 women, not a strong man figure. They grew up in Cuba, you know, on a farm through communism. So, you know, my grandmother's answer was always like, oh, that sucks. Imagine if somebody came and took all your shit, you know. That's harder. So.
Well, I think, because, you know, like her having you, long story short, the neighborhood bully stole your bike. And so when you went back to, when he came to drop off your bike.
Yeah, he knocked on my door. And my grandma put me in the side of the house. We had like a fence. And she just like let him in and then closed the fence. And she goes, hit it.
She's like, this kid's never going to steal your bike again. And here's why. Show him why.
I hit it. I hit it. It's funny because he sent me a DM the other day on Instagram. He follows me now. Like,
no way.
Yeah, like obviously that was fucking, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. But yeah, and he was like, dude, great to see you doing so well. And I'm like, no shit. I wonder if he remembers. But yeah, like I should just ship him a bike at this point. But
who the hell sent me Willy Numbers?
Yeah, I won't say any
bike
names.
On your front door.
But yeah, yeah, that was my upbringing, man. You know, my mom worked 2-3 jobs my entire life. Got up at 5. I didn't see her till like 7. My grandmother, you know, very typical for Miami kind of stuff, Cubans. My grandmother took care of us. You know, she took care of the home so my mom could go out and do what she needed to do. My mom didn't take an easy route, you know, like, I'll go get a certain kind of job, or, you know, I'll go do something that's probably not good in the public eye or anything like that, or get another man to help. She didn't remarry till much later on in my life, but she built everything herself, and, you know, she was very entrepreneurial my entire life, and I think that molded me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 2 opposite sides of the spectrum. And she also never, ever, ever, which I think her till this day, I never really heard my mother or my grandmother complain in the sense of what you would think. Like, they just always were like, yeah, it's hard, but, you know, what are we going to do? Just got to keep moving forward. So She never talked illy about my father either. She let me come to my own conclusions about that. She would always let me go visit him as a kid whenever he wanted to see me. And, you know, that was great because I never held resentment to her.
My mother was the same way until later in life. After we were old enough, now she has all the shit to say. She's like, you're an adult now. I don't give a shit. But as a kid, I think it's really important to let a child make that decision on their own and learn from the relationship that they do have with that parent. Because that's exactly what my mother did.
It is. Listen, after a certain age, you know, my father was a very extreme example. I saw a lot of violence with him. But, you know, it was very quick to be like, all right, this is my father. Yeah, I think he's cool. Yeah, I'm scared shitless of him. But this is not the path that I want to go.
Right.
You will make that decision on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. You will. You have.
I don't know if I answered what you asked.
No, you did.
Okay.
You have. I'm going to do another final round of rapid questions for you. You just have to decide which it is and explain to the audience why. So it's either going to be alpha or it's going to be illusion. Whatever your opinion is of the words that I prompt you with, you're going to tell us which one you think it is and why.
Okay.
Cool?
Alpha or illusion?
Alpha or illusion, yeah.
Okay.
Hustle culture.
It's an illusion.
Why?
Just too many people are full of shit.
Soft men.
I mean, it's certainly an illusion. You know? Mm-hmm. If I'm answering that right. I don't think that's alpha at all.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's
no,
totally
but am I like answering in
the
right context? Because it's the complete opposite of alpha.
Yes.
Yeah. There's too many of them.
Biohacking.
That's alpha. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And you're super into that. You're into peptides and health and wellness.
I don't even call it biohacking. I just call it cool shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just cool shit. I don't care what it is. I have a cold plunge. I have a sauna. I take a bunch of different peptides throughout the year to depending on what I'm training for or whatever. Mental too, nootropics. But yeah, that's certainly alpha. Like, I would like to live as not even as long as people would think. It's just more like I want to live a good life. Like, I want to beat the shit out of my body and have it be good.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I want to be able to go run 100 miles. You know, like into my 50s, I'm certainly going to run Ironmans. Like, there's no question about that.
Right.
You can't do that without taking care of yourself.
No. And you can put your body to the test as long as you supplement and pay attention to it.
I think entrepreneurs, the way that I look at entrepreneurs, it's like athletes, pro athletes. Entrepreneurs really, in my belief, should look at themselves as professional athletes. The more you're physically trained and the more you're mentally trained and you invest money in these things, the better of an entrepreneur you're going to be. I mean, I can kick most entrepreneurs' asses just because they're fat, they don't show up, they're lazy, they're groggy, they're hungover, they got emotional issues. Like, if I can remove all that, dude, I'm going to whoop your ass any day of the week. You know, the business is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monogamy.
That's alpha. Yeah, for sure. I think you're a piece of shit if you're not monogamous. If you're in a monogamous relationship, don't be an asshole. You know?
No porn, no.
No, I haven't watched porn in over 2 years.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you. It's been pretty good.
That's a big feat.
Yeah, stay busy.
Doing other things. Guns.
Super alpha. It's alpha American.
Your favorite hobby?
I love guns. Yeah. Guns is. I'm a part of a private gun club, and it's awesome. You know, they have a gym there, shower. I just love guns. I love. You know, I also love to train with guns too. Like, I think it's an incredible skill set that any man can have for, like, protecting his home, his family, all that kind of stuff. It's a very useful skill. It's not like underwater basket weaving, you know, where you could do nothing with that. But, you know, like, it's
in comparison, would you like to weave shit underwater or protect your family?
Or, like,
with really
blow
cool
shit up. Like,
guns.
A man should always say, yes, blow shit up. And we'll build it again and we'll blow that shit up again. Like, that's fun, man. I think that comes from being a child. Like, you know, like, what kid do you see ever at, like, an air show where an F-18 or an F-22 flies by? They're not like, ah, like a little boy. They're like, oh my God, they're losing their mind. I think it's just like something about, like, mechanical and loud noises and explosions. Like, little boys are just like, ah, you know. I think as a man, you can buy the shit, so it's nice. Yeah. You enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely can buy the shit. You work your ass off to make a lot of money, so you get really pretty guns.
My fiance's giving me some really good guns, too. So
oh, yeah?
Fun. Yeah.
She must be a pretty cool fiance.
She's pretty dope.
She's pretty dope?
She's all right.
She's all right.
Yeah, she's
That's cool.
She's
we'll have to meet her sometime.
Sometime. Sooner than you think.
Sooner than you think. Maybe you don't even already know. Okay. Therapy.
Alpha. Super alpha.
Mm-hmm. What kind of therapies?
I mean, mental health.
But I mean, like, you have coaches, you have mentors, you have an actual, like, emotional, trauma therapist. Like, there's
I have a traditional, like, therapist, mm-hmm. like, you know, for psychology, that kind of stuff. I've been working with him for 4 years now. Yeah. I've had several different leadership coaches. My most recent one, who became a really good friend, is Cody Alford. You know him. Cody, what's up? If you're listening, dope. But yeah, talk about a guy that embodies alpha in so many different ways, and, you know, has worked on himself. So I've had Keith, you know, mentors, you know, Mark Evans. I mean, up and down, right? Different kinds of mentors that I've learned from. So I'm always investing in myself. I'm always in some sort of a mastermind, learning something. I always want to be in a room where I'm, like, the bottom of the totem pole. That's the right room to be in. If you're if you're the king of the dipshits, you're in the wrong room, that's for sure. So, kind of like this guy on the phone call yesterday. Yeah. You know, he came into the wrong room. But
he took the crown yesterday.
Yeah.
I am enough affirmations, alpha or illusion?
Super alpha. I've been doing them for 7 years.
It works.
I yell inside my sauna every night. At the top of my lungs.
Another thing, we didn't touch on that, but you have a sauna and a cold plunge at your house that you use every single day.
Yeah.
And your cold plunge is set at what degree?
36.
36 degrees. This man jumps into a almost freezing.
It's pretty cool.
Bucket of ice. It's not even a bucket. It's an actual tub of water.
I've gotten to the point. I've been doing it for a few years. I've gotten to the point now where I can actually think inside of it, which I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is like a really super challenging feat. Like, I can actually have thoughts, and I say affirmations in there sometimes. Like, that's another level of talk about mental fortitude. I'm telling you, you put yourself in cold ass water, you go through anything. Like, it's so uncomfortable, especially like at 5:30 a.m. where you just go, you're like, ah.
I can't do it. I can't think straight. In a cold plunge, all I can focus on is breathing and not wanting to jump out.
But you did crack a minute that one day.
I did.
That was great.
Yeah. I thought it was 41 degrees, but turns out my coach lied to me, and And it was 39 degrees.
What an asshole, that guy.
I know, but it worked.
What a dick.
Because I thought that it was warmer water, I put myself in it. It wasn't, but that was just a head game. Like
I even tell myself that on
my mind.
runs. Like if I'm going for 19 on Sunday, I'm like, it's like 16. And I'm like, it's another 3. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Just trick myself.
9 to 5s. Alpha or illusion?
It's an illusion. And, to be fair, I'm not here to like demean or judge anybody who works a 9 to 5. God bless them, It's been my experience that obviously not everybody can be an entrepreneur or a business owner or something else, or a professional athlete or whatever, but a lot of those people just gave up on dreams. It's an illusion. They were sold a pipe dream, the 401k, buying your primary residence it's an asset, it's bullshit, it's a liability. It's just a hamster wheel that they were sold.
Right.
To keep
and
them
some
on
people
there.
are comfortable in that place,
Yeah.
and there has to be people that are comfortable living in that place in their life. But I think there's probably a large sum of people who aren't happy in those positions, and once you realize you are building someone else's dream working that 9 to 5, that was something I couldn't get over. I don't want to build somebody else's dream. I want to build my own.
Sure.
So, but we've all been there, and some people choose to stay, and very few choose to bet on themselves and leave.
All the guys I went to high school with, they're all great guys. We all went to college, right? We all got degrees in finance, funny enough. And they stayed, every single one of them. They are still doing their thing. One of them recently reached out to me that he hates his job and that, he wanted to invest in real estate and stuff. And, I tried helping him where I could. But, we don't speak the same language anymore. I've been a calloused, hardened man, through the last 8 years. His problems are not my problems. His problems to me are a dream. They're just like a joke in that sense. So it is what it is. It's different.
Yeah. Marriage.
That's alpha, for sure. It's the right marriage.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people are in the wrong ones, but
yes,
they just don't know it.
Unfortunately. Yeah. I think they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, look, I'm not perfect. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, it is what it is. You have to make sure. I've always been told by a lot of my mentors that the single best decision I will ever make is who I choose to spend my life with. And I've personally seen, from being in this business long enough and in certain mastermind rooms, I've seen real alpha guys, like real alpha, super successful rich guys get absolutely fucking roasted through the divorce. Some to no fault of their own, and they don't recover. So, divorces take out more entrepreneurs than bankruptcy. That's for sure. It just is what it is.
That's
a third reel, by the way, for those that are counting. That's a third reel. I'm good at
Numero tres.
Numero tres.
Actually, Spanish is your first language.
It is.
English was second.
Yes.
He's bilingual, ladies and gentlemen. He is a taken man, though.
Trilingual.
So trilingual. He speaks Italian, too. A little bit of French. Wow.
Fuck French people. No, I'm just kidding.
And lastly, God. Alpha.
Super alpha.
Illusion.
Super alpha. Don't be an asshole and say that you're an atheist, please. Just, I don't care what you believe in, dude. Believe in the bottle. I don't care, but believe in something. like something higher than yourself. I don't care whether you're Jewish, Arabic, Catholic, Christian, whatever the fuck. I don't care. You got to believe in something bigger than yourself.
Yeah. And you're going along with God, having a relationship with God. Are you big on? You are Catholic.
Yes.
But in what you're saying,
of being Cuban.
Yeah, I think so.
You get one of these, and then they give you one of these at birth, the gold chain, and then they're like, "All right, you're Catholic." Boom, get out of here.
For people who are new to spirituality or their relationship with God, is it more important you have that relationship with a higher power, or are you more into fixed religion, and why?
I believe in the universe, energy. God is the universe. Obviously, I do believe in Jesus and, the classical sense of the Catholicism. My mom's an ordained minister. I think that, organized religion does a lot of good things. I think it's nice to have. For me, it's more like a cultural thing, certain things that you do, right? traditions are cool to me. They're important, like a baptism or a communion, right? Like it's nice to have that because that goes back thousands of years. You know, it's something bigger than you. It's not about that thing. It's about, damn, like people have been doing this for 2,000 years. Like I'm a part of something. You know,
the tradition.
Yeah, the
is
tradition.
What you really appreciate.
Yeah, the tradition is great. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
All right, I have just a few more questions for you, and then we can wrap it up.
Hit me. We're good on time.
So, yeah, we're great on time. So you went rogue. You went off the beaten path. You bet on yourself. You're living your dream. You're living your best life, or you're building it. You're in the process of building your empire, your legacy. What is your favorite part of the process that you're in right now? Right now, you're 34. You founded Reverse Flip 8 months ago.
September. Yeah, last
September.
year.
Okay.
As a name, yeah. As a name, I had been doing it, you know, buying deeds and stuff like that. The strategy since 2019.
And so, in the process that you're in right now, you're thriving. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There is a lot of hardship that you go through. You're making a lot of new decisions. You're deciding to keep a lot more instead of before. He was the sales guy. He would like acquire it, sell it, make money fast, and keep it moving. That was Willy Numbers consistently as a wholesaler. Once he built Reverse Flip and decided to continue on this journey of that, now you're kind of at a point where you're taking a step back. You're looking at acquiring assets. You're looking at having more lines of income streams. You're betting on yourself as far as building a fund. Like that's huge. So you're making a lot more big boy decisions instead of fast money. You're slowing it down and you're acquiring a lot of money. So what, at this phase in your life, what does that feel like? What are you, it's challenging, but it's also something to look forward to.
I've never felt more certain in my life. Yeah, certainty in the sense of not like the gay sense of like, oh, I need certainty. No, like I mean in the sense of like that what I'm doing in this specific moment in time is building something massive so that I can look back, 5-7 years from now and say, holy shit, that was a dope series of decisions that, set me up for the rest of my life. I've not had money. I've had money. I've not had it again. I've gotten it back. Like I've been up and down that fucking monetary roller coaster more time. I got the picture, the T-shirt, the whole thing. But yeah, certainty. Certainty is certainly is really what I feel right now. Like, damn, we're moving in that right direction. I'm solo, which is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just I'm solo, no partners in that regard. I do have a developer partner where we're keeping stuff and we're developing, but it's asset by asset. But yeah, this is special to me. It's my baby. I thought it up through a lot of hard work. Over a 6-year period of developing out this strategy. I don't take it lightly that 1,000+ people at this point, I think, have come through the coaching community. At some form or fashion, we have the pro guys that I coach high level, so I get a lot of fulfillment out of that. And the challenges are, I don't really even think of them as challenges. Cash flow some days is it's crazy, right? The challenge I have right now with myself is to become the same way that I've been the best wholesaler, the best real estate investor, in my humble opinion. The stats speak for themselves in South Florida. I now have a challenge to become the best marketer, to learn marketing within that realm. And it's a very dangerous skill set, And I have an amazing marketing guy who pops up in my videos all the time. but I've learned a lot from him, and I don't want to be the marketer. I just really want to understand it at a high level because I know where my strengths lie, which is as a driver, a massive visionary. I can paint a picture that everybody can fit in. That's a superpower, and I'm grateful for that. But I just imagine like, damn, I can think of things differently in marketing, and I can drive it, but if I understand it. Yeah. And I want to know where. I actually find it fascinating, I come from a business. Sorry, this is a long answer, but
no,
I come from a business where it's very slow. Mm-hmm. You like in wholesaling and real estate, you send out marketing. It's usually a 90-day cash conversion cycle, probably closer to 120 days. If you're fixing and flipping, it's like 180 days. So that means for the listeners, I put in $1 I'm probably not going to see it back for 120 to 150 days. Okay? Hopefully, with a return. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you put in that dollar and then, like, you ever been at a vending machine where it just eats your money and you're like, what the fuck? That's what happens. That's entrepreneurship 101. And there's no one to call to come unjam the machine. It's just gone. Call that charging it to the game. But marketing and the online space is like that. Like, you could literally point something up, you could put up an ad, whip up a credit card, and bloop, money just comes right through within like a day. So, you know, things scale faster that way. So I think I'm just fascinated by, like, damn, I will always park my money in real estate, but like, I really like this. Like, this is, it's more my speed. Like, if you know anything about me, it's more my speed. Yeah. I'm like, I put in an input, result comes out in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, you know? Yeah. Imagine with real estate, it's like, damn, 3 months of litigation for this thing.
Well, I think it's something that is very common with entrepreneurs. I bet you could sit a vast majority of them down with you and ask them about marketing, and they don't know what the fuck is going on in their marketing. They don't understand how marketing works, how ads work, how funnels work. They just don't get it because they pay somebody to get it for them. Yeah. So I think it's very special that you're an entrepreneur that's not just having someone in your team that runs all of your marketing, but you're actually sitting down with that department and looking into it and looking inward and understanding how it works and why it works and how it can be better and what direction you're going with that, because most people wouldn't do that because marketing is an entire career on its own. But
it's a very powerful, I would say, marketing and sales. If you have those two down, you can make money anywhere. I am fully confident, not that I want to, but I am fully confident that I could go start a window washing business tomorrow and it'd be 7 figures inside of 12 months. Because I could just figure it out. It's really just, what's the marketing we're going to do and to who and who's selling it and converting it. And then it's just building a team. And then it's just a matter of, well, let's turn the volume dial up on the marketing and then turn the volume up on the sales. That's it. You could do that anywhere. I could go start anything. But if that's what wholesaling gave me, because I did all those roles, I did all those jobs, I did the cold calling, I did the door knocking, I did the bandit signs. I know what the fuck that's like, especially in the summer in Miami. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to take the calls. I know what it's like to deal with a crazy ass seller. I know what it's like to grab the contract and now you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do now. To deal with the title company, go through 5-6 title companies till you find a good one. I know what it's like to disposition the deal, to sell it, dealing with crazy ass buyers. Because if sellers are crazy, buyers are crazier. So, you go through all that, and then what to do with the money. And then you got to do the marketing. Well, who does this marketing? So you have to learn all those things. So when you are a true entrepreneur, that's why I respect true entrepreneurs that have built something from the ground up, not picked up a little, process somewhere else and, a fixed system already. Like, you really built this shit with these things from the ground up. I respect the shit out of that person because I know what that's like. That is so hard to do. That is like having a baby and raising that child.
So that's your definition of a true entrepreneur, is somebody who actually started from ground zero. There was nothing. It was dirt when they got there.
It was nothing. It was less than dirt. It was an idea in the head. That person had to have an idea, go out with dirt, make something, and then continue to do that. And to me, the only other thing to an entrepreneur is they are willing to risk it all, lose it all, and then they can come back and bet again. That's an entrepreneur to me. I've lost everything. 2 years later, I was back and then some. I think that's important, man. It's hard to quantify that to somebody that hasn't gone through that.
Well, yeah, you're getting emotional just talking about it.
Yeah, of course.
It's so personal to you. That's not an easy thing to create or overcome.
And when you do it alone, there's like this thing pointed out, online and shit with this whole entrepreneurism thing, because it's such a fucking hot word, just like mastermind. It's so overused, but entrepreneurship is a very lonely game. It's a very lonely road. I don't think it has to be. I think you should get around other entrepreneurs, but brother, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of moments where it's just you versus you. That's not for everybody. Everybody thinks it's for them because they see a cool car, or they see some cool shit, or they see a PJ with some guy online. It's probably not even his. But that's not what entrepreneurship is. You know, entrepreneurship is literally, I think Elon Musk said it best. It's like chewing glass and swimming in the ocean or something like that, he said. Like, just, that's entrepreneurism, you know, like every day. And it is, you know, and you have to be a certain kind of psychopath to deal with that.
That's a fact.
And I am.
He is,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
Through and through.
I enjoy that, you know?
Yeah.
Because then at the end, it's yours.
Yeah.
You know, the Roosevelt had that great quote of the man in the arena, you know? For me, I don't know why, but that always resonated with me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the man in the arena. You know, like that, there's something, you know, a gladiator of sorts, you know, because that's what it is, dude. And it's, you know, entrepreneurism or capitalism, it's not fair. It's so unfair. Like, if you looked at it, you know, from and that's not to like victimize, but like it really is. There's no rules, you know, outside of legal shit, but like there's really no rules. It's a full contact sport. There's no play, there's no flags on the play, there's no first down, timeout, teams going, there's none of that shit. It is a consistently running game of who the fuck picks up the ball and gets rocked by somebody else, and then the next guy picks up the ball, or maybe you rock that guy and you keep running. So that's what entrepreneurism is. It's an infinite game.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
You build your coliseum, and then you play in it, and everybody comes after you.
Sure, and then somebody could set, you know, some dynamite and blow up half of your coliseum or the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then you got to build that fucker again. You know, that's kind of what it is. Sometimes you're the guy who set the dynamite for yourself.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So speaking of setting dynamite for yourself, you're getting married, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Next year.
Next year. That's very exciting.
I knew this was coming. I had a feeling this was happening.
Where are you getting married? Do you know
Italy.
yet? Italy?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where in Italy, but
Somewhere in Italy.
inside the country.
Italy's where you proposed, right?
Yeah, Lake Como.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen that on your social media. It was
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It was like a music video.
It was a music video. It was
an
a movie.
Italian music video.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah. No, it was amazing. Yeah.
Very
Nervous
exciting.
as shit. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Drove into Switzerland
By mistake.
by mistake with no passport, but that's a different story for a different time.
Didn't go to Swiss jail that day.
We did not. We did not. I don't know how, but reverse flip was a thing there, and the guard recognized me, and that's what happened. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to ask you a totally off the wall question, and this is just because I want to ask every single guest that's on my show, because it's a need to know for me. Death row meal.
Death row meal?
It's your last meal that you get, and then you're being euthanized in some way or another. What's the last meal that you're going to eat? They're going to bring it to your cell, maybe on a silver platter, maybe on gold.
Something that comes with something that's metal, so I can fuck my way up out of it. Something with a metal knife or
He
metal
doesn't give
fork.
a shit about the steak. He gives a shit about the shank inside the steak.
Something that I could at least have. Like, if I'm gonna be put down on death row, like, I'm going out with a bang. Like,
Hey,
just shoot me.
kill a couple men.
But I'm going. You know, I'd rather give it a shot. You know, you're not just
Try
gonna
to
put
break-
me down in front of a curtain of windows, and I'll just be like, look, this got canceled today because we fucked this guy up in the hallway because he went apeshit. Like, that's the death row that I would like to have if I had
He
it.
killed a couple guards on his way out, and
Yeah, sorry, but not. My life's over anyway. It is what it is. I got nothing to
unless
lose.
you make it out, because that's the chance you were.
But if I make it out, I'm back.
Make it out.
I'm back in the game, baby.
Life's good again.
We're back in the game.
See, I think it's a great question. You learn a lot about a person when you find out what their death row meal is.
Well, what'd you learn about me?
you're not willing to die.
No way. Not willingly, not like, oh, yeah.
Let me try to escape this
Yeah,
shit.
just put me with the fucking, no, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna make this shit a challenge. Like, I didn't have a good court date. That's cool with me, dude. I've been sitting in that bitch for 10 years.
No,
Daddy's gotta
no
play.
more.
Like, we gotta fuck it. And that guy's been looking at me for 8 years, and I'm gonna fuck that dude up. I don't know. That's how my mind works.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, it's my attitude. If it was food, in a serious question, it would probably be, man, my grandmother's ropa vieja, rice and beans, and plantains, of course. I would just crush that one last time. It was just bam, just one time.
That's really good.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Now we get to flip the script, and you get to ask me one question.
One question.
One question. It can be anything you want. I know it's a very scary position to put myself in, but I'm pretty unapologetic myself. So hit me with your best shot.
What's the most incredible thing you've ever seen me do?
The most incredible thing I've ever seen you do. Ooh, that's a good question. I've seen this motherfucker do some pretty incredible shit in his day.
Make coffee.
Oh, actually, yeah. Fold a t-shirt. No.
That was incredible. For me, that was unbelievable.
Unload a dishwasher. Pick up a broom.
I just got
Not
that
sweep,
one.
but he did pick up the broom.
I just got up that accolade like last week. The dishwasher.
Incredible.
I figured out that you put the dirty stuff in there.
That's right.
And the clean stuff comes out.
That's right.
I don't know how to put them away yet, but I do know how to get them out of them.
That's a task for another day. He'll master it eventually.
Button.
I'll actually answer it twice. I'll give you...
Twice?
Yeah.
That's a one answer.
Most incredible thing I've ever seen you do was at the beginning, you put yourself in a position of letting your former business partners take over the business that you had built from scratch. And no offense if they're listening, you guys totally shit the bed. Within less than a week's time, everything started to crumble.
3 weeks.
Yeah, literally, it was like a 3-week span in total that you didn't touch anything until you couldn't take it anymore, which was a huge feat. Usually I give this guy like 48 to 72 hours to not lose his shit. He lasted 3 weeks. It was incredible. But through all the adversity, I mean, lawsuits, losing partners, divorcing partners, going out and doing it all on his own, he, within less than a month, decided to rebuild, change the name, literally created an entire new business all on his own while getting sued, while going through a business divorce, and then on top of that, decided to coach other people how to do it. So he didn't just rebuild his plate. He was like, fuck this plate. I don't like the food on it. I'm making a new dinner for myself. Then on top of that, he's like, I'll do dessert too. Let's coach other people how to do business. I watched this man fall the fuck apart and rebuild himself faster than anybody I've ever known in my life. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
To see that kind of stamina and that kind of feral. You're a very feral person. You're like, this is what everybody else would do. This is what I'm not going to do. And he was unapologetic about it. It was very authentic of you. Yeah, he was like, fuck you. There. I'm not doing this. I'm doing that. Watch me. He was so mad at everything in that moment that he took that pain and turned it into power and built something beautiful out of it. And I think that says a lot about any person, especially you, because I don't know anybody else in my life personally who has done something like that, but I got a first row seat to be able to watch you create that kind of success for yourself and keep going even when it sucked. So that was incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, it was like Mickey Mousery. I was in the background editing videos on TikTok. Like there was nothing fancy about it. We were a hot mess, but somehow you made it work. And here you are today. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
You gotta have the vision. You know, I maybe this will help somebody listening, but the number one thing, you know, over 1,000 people now that I've come across, coached, mentored, whatever you want to call it, is just too much thinking. Just too much thinking. People think too much, man.
He looks right at me when he says that. Overthinker City.
Yeah, like even getting to this podcast. You know,
yeah.
A lot of thoughts here.
3 years later.
Supposed to be 3 years ago. But nonetheless, you know, like, and that's not like a pop shot at you. It's really not.
No,
but people,
way.
You know how I am. Like, people really do think way too much. I am not that special, really. Am I pretty sharp? Sure. Am I smarter than average? I'd like to think so, at least. But I'm not that special, you know. I don't have like a 200 IQ or invented some crazy fucking vaccine or something. I'm just a kid from Miami that I don't think a lot about a lot. I just, you know, I think about it, you know, of course, obviously, like, probably for like a microsecond, And the plane just gets built on the way down. What I do have a lot, and I would just tell this to a lot of people, man, is just execution. Relentless execution, and specifically just imperfect action. I have looked like shit for so long doing a lot of what I've done, even like the first videos and TikTok and this and that, and just posting, but I could take direction, but yeah, people think way too much. There's no such thing as, like, take it from a real entrepreneur, tried and tested. I've lost a lot of money. Like, you should listen to me. It's not because I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. So, but I've learned a lot too. There's no such thing as getting your ducks in a row. I always tell people when you're out there getting your ducks in a row, there's a guy like me that shot 10 ducks. It looks like shit. Probably shot a fucking turkey too that I wasn't supposed to shoot because I aimed wrong. But I got my ducks, and I'm back in the truck with 10 ducks. And they probably have a lot of bullets in them, and it's going to take me a little while to take the bullets out. You shot, like, maybe one duck. Like, who would you rather be? Like, I'm done. Like, I'm out. I got 10 times your result. It's because I was not afraid to take the action, and I didn't think too much about it. Mm-hmm. I just rolled with it. The most successful entrepreneurs I know, that's how they are. That's how they are, They just, like, build it.
Yeah.
As it comes.
Right. I love that your analogy is shooting your ducks. You're the only person that I know who has ever referred to getting their ducks in a row that we're shooting our ducks. We're lining them up to kill them. That is what you do with them? Will Denis.
Yeah. Whatever. It's like Duck Hunter. You remember the game Duck Hunter with the little gun with the Super Nintendo? You go, pow, pow, pow. Yeah, whatever it is, man. Just fucking shoot the ducks. That's the point.
We're shooting the ducks.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I mean, you segued into my last question for you. So that's what you would leave the young men and women listening right now, is to not overthink it and just focus on imperfect execution. Those are your...
No, that's just the answer to that question. What's your next question?
So if you could leave our listeners with something today on... It can be anything. What's your best piece of advice for them based on your experiences and everything that you've gone through? It can be in business. It can be in personal. What is something that you're unwavering about that they should remember when they're going through their journey so that they can bet on themselves instead of somebody else?
Simply put, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
That's great.
Like, that's it. It's going to be all right. You're gonna fuck it up. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be all right. There's always, I've been alive 34 years. Never woke up one day where the sun didn't come up. Decide not to fucking come up. You look back thousands of years, it's happened, right? The biggest successes, which I think makes it easier in my mind, because I like history. You look at anybody who's been successful ever, from Leonardo da Vinci to Jesus Christ, to fucking anybody, right? To Bill Gates, to Steve Jobs, to whatever, Hormozy, me, whatever. They have grossly fucked it up in their careers, in their lives, whatever. But they hit it when they hit it, But the one common trait is that they never quit. So it's gonna be all right. And there's only, and I know this is more than one, but there's really only one. The trick to this entire game, like entrepreneurism or success, is the only way to actually lose is to quit. If you take yourself out of the game, that's the only way to do it. I met guys that have been through 3 bankruptcies that are billionaires. I mean, how do you explain that, right? Mm-hmm. I myself, 30 rentals, down to 0, up to 75. I don't know how to explain that other than, holy shit. And I'll tell you what, acquiring the 30 was a pain in the ass. Acquiring the 75, like that. It happened in less than a year. Riddle me that.
Not dumb luck.
No, I don't write the rules, but I believe that the universe never makes mistakes. It's like a perfect equation. It might not look like it, but if you have put up the time, if you've put up the work, if you've put up that sacrifice, that discipline, all that shit, but just the time in, it will seem like in one moment it all came, but it didn't. Mm-hmm. So I'm living proof of that.
Don't quit. Keep going.
Don't be a bitch, dude.
That's amazing. That's
Nobody
great
likes
advice.
a bitch.
Nobody likes a bitch.
Nobody likes a bitch, dude. Don't be that guy in the elevator that's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, you know, dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit, dude. Like, come on,
Say something
man.
positive.
Let's at least be like, oh, it's great. Lie to yourself,
Life's
dude.
good.
Dude, I've been in lawsuits up my ass with no money in my account. I'd be like, it's fantastic. Lied right through my fucking teeth, dude. And then something fantastic happened in the day.
That's right.
Nobody wants to be that dude or girl who's in the elevator that's like, oh, man, well, if you knew. No, bro, I don't want to know. No. I don't even know you. I don't want to fucking know because your energy, it's like B.O. Like, I could smell that shit from here, dude. No wonder you got shit piling up on you.
Yeah, you're
smell
attracting
like shit,
it.
dude.
Yeah. Shit attracts shit.
People that have shit going on in their lives, don't be surprised when they walk around with flies all over them. I don't want that person, dude. I don't want that person. That shit happens. Cool. What are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do about it? I don't give a shit what happens to you. What are you going to do about it? It's an opportunity to respond. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to men. I don't know what happened to men. Dude, I don't know.
Deja vu.
Like, if you got hit, just fucking hit back. What the fuck happened? I don't know what happened to the world. Just hit back, dude. That's what life is.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna hit you. Eventually, if you hit back enough, life's not gonna bother you that much. It's good.
It's good.
It's what I got. I don't know. It's not scientific, but it fucking works.
Well, it's been great having you on the show today. I really appreciate you being my very first guest. You knocked it out of the park. For those of you who didn't pick it up on this episode, Will is, in fact, my fiance. I tried to keep it to the very end because I wanted to make this episode all about him and not about us. So I hope that I did a good job with shedding some light on this human being.
You were kind of flirting with me there, but yeah, you did.
Well, you're pretty cute today. You got a new haircut.
Thank you.
You got your beard trimmed.
Be on the
pretty
show,
sexy.
So I got my shit together.
So where can the listeners find you after they finish this episode?
Via fax 954. Got the fax right out there. Beeper. No, Instagram is my biggest platform. At Willy Numbers with a Y, Willy Numbers. Reverse flip, obviously, all things reverse flip. Yeah, YouTube, we're on all those platforms. My team does a great job of that. I don't know how to work them, but they do a great job.
Yeah, he actually has his own podcast. So if you're interested in real estate investing or learning the reverse flip strategy, being one of his mentees, joining his coaching program, you can go to reverseflip.com, check him out, go watch his podcast, Flip and SoFlo, on YouTube. It's all over his social media as well at Willy Numbers. So you can find him. He's all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Instagram is the best one of those to get me, for sure.
Well, I'm your host, Savana, Montana. Thank you for joining us today, Will Denis, a.k.a. Willy Numbers. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you enjoyed the show.
I think you crushed
welcome.
it. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Thank you. Let me tell you who the fuck I think I am. You got a minute?
God damn this show.
You're really going to get to know him.
First guest was a pussy. No, just...